Hello everybody, this is George from CryptoPotato and today we're here with Lennix Live. Lennix is the Director of Financial Markets at OKEx. He's been with the exchange since day one, so we talk about some of the biggest challenges of running a cryptocurrency exchange in one of the most dynamic industries in the world. OKEx also has a lot of its user base coming in from China, so we talk about what's going on over there in the country amid the most recent crackdown and why it might not be as bad as people say it is. Also, we have one of these coming up every week, hosting some of the leading figures in the cryptocurrency industry. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss on any new episodes coming up in the future. So, hello, Lennix. Thank you for agreeing to this discussion. You've been with OKEx since the very beginning. Can you tell us a little bit more about the entire journey, like how it was in the beginning, as opposed to how it is now? How have things changed and what's different?
Oh yeah, right. Oh my God, the startup of OKEx is I would say is a remarkable journey. We start from around 4 years ago, and we were a basic local platform in China back in 4 or 5 years ago, and we serve only Chinese customer to buy or sell Bitcoin with local currency before. And we think that this might be, and we want to do a little bit of expansion for non-Chinese markets because we think that would be a lot more fun, and we think we can add a lot more innovations on that particular platform. So we think that we want to provide a platform for international customer. That is the original idea. So OKEx was really small back in 4 years ago. I think per my memory, I think in coin market cap, we were only ranked at 170 or something, according to global number of exchange. So right now we are top 5 in terms of volume. That's a lot of up and down. We go through the entire crypto cycle, and we do a lot of upgrade on our product. We add a lot of things. We completely revamp the entire system architecture of OKEx. So as with all the other exchange in the world, right? So I think after these 4 years, we see a lot of come and go on crypto exchange, and luckily we are still surviving, and we're still becoming kind of like a really comprehensive exchange to serve the global customers.
Right. And how do you scale all this from a small exchange, a local platform, to becoming one of the leading cryptocurrency exchanges? I personally see this as the biggest challenge, like scaling everything, every service that you provide to be appropriate for a larger user base.
Yeah, I think the most difficult part might be culture. Yeah, surprisingly. So we have around less than 100 people back in 4 years ago. Most of them are engineering, most of them are Chinese, having a Chinese background. So we have zero knowledge, zero people, or zero know-how in the team within OKEx. So, but you have to transform your culture by replacing, adding new team, adding new people, adding new mindset. So the biggest challenge always for a transformation of any local company is to change your culture first. Change your culture is so not easy, meaning that top management has to embrace and be really open-minded for all the challenging idea coming from different people with different cultural background and different expertise. And I think that's not just OKEx. I think all the company that would like to expand and transform themselves to become a global platform will share similar difficulties.
Right. And you're personally overseeing financial markets, right?
I personally, my title is Financial Market Director because I was working for the financial products on OKEx. But right now I'm serving mostly for international markets, especially really focus on the institutional side of the business of OKEx.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the market right now. Do you think we are still in a bullish cycle, or have things changed a little bit in the past couple of months following the corrections and the downturn?
Yeah, I think the correction is I think it's already kind of like finish or even close to finish. Whoever need to sell, need to deleverage. Mostly the last bull run, I think X month is actually mostly driven by leverage trade. So we can see a really insane number on open interest. We can see very insane number of interest rates amongst crypto. We can see insane number, insane matrix. So all kind of trading matrix is showing that everyone was adding a lot of leverage.
Right.
The last bull run. So it makes sense. That's how a bull market come off with. Right. So a lot of I think a lot of trade, a lot of correction is contributed by deleveraging. So you can see a really sharp crash for Bitcoin price for in a relatively short period of time compared with the bull run, because they need to deleverage fast. And right. I think it's really kind of like done and almost really close to finish. And that is still a lot, and there's still a lot of uncertainty within the crypto market, mostly originated for regulatory overhaul. But I don't think the market is already really calm on that news or that upcoming news already. Right. The market's getting very comfortable. So definitely we are still on the bull run.
On the bull
side. But
okay.
The bulls are the market, but it takes longer time to reach your target price, right? 100K USD or even 7K, 80K USD per Bitcoin.
Okay. Do you think we'll see these prices anytime soon, like 70K or 100K per Bitcoin?
I won't surprise that we're back to 50K to 60K around by the end of the year. But I think it take around maybe 1 or 2 more years to hit at 100K.
Okay. And you mentioned the institutions. How do you see the institutional outlook right now on Bitcoin?
Oh, I think they for according to OKEx data, I don't think that was a huge impact on institutional volume and AUM. I mean, assets under management on the OKEx for institutional size. So I don't think they're downsizing, but they're not adding size too after the next bull run. I think they just want to more have a wait and see approach. They will be older, and I think for trader, I think they keep trading, but I think they will do it at a relatively small size, and the open interest will be smaller compared with before, and they are not aggressively borrowing to trade compared with before.
Right. Okay. And I think we cannot not speak about China, because what we saw in the past month or two was significant. A lot of people call it recycled FUD and old news, but we also saw a lot of new things coming up. Like we actually saw miners relocating from China to the US. Can you tell us a little bit more about this? What's going on? Is this something to worry about? And what do you think is going to keep happening in the future over there?
Yeah, China, I think the major policy changes related to crypto in China is not related to Bitcoin itself. So Bitcoin is still a legally enforceable, or kind of like a property and a property that's a legally definable digital property that every Chinese is legally allowed to own. But mining Bitcoin is considered as energy wasting and have a lot of carbon footprint within China. So that's why most of the policy and regulatory in China are related to crypto mining, Bitcoin mining especially. So they have to shut down all the mining rigs within China. and so that says all the mining firm, all the mining operation has to migrate to outside China right now. I think we will see a hash power crash dropped in relatively in this year, maybe 6 months. But I think it takes around maybe a year after COVID. All the Chinese-based mining operation can be successfully moved outside of China and operate over there.
Okay. And do you think that because we already saw a notable drop in Bitcoin's hash rate, do you think that's good or bad going forward? Like, let's say in the midterm future, the redistribution of hash rate, because a lot of it was centered in China, right? And now that it's going away, do you think that's good or bad for Bitcoin's network?
I think Bitcoin network has been challenges and for so many times, and the hash power and hash rate before is even much smaller, and Bitcoin is actually just fine. That just proves how robust of the Bitcoin design. So after this hash power crash, so might be it's a little bit affected the sentiment of Bitcoin, but I don't think for the Bitcoin security and the network basis, I don't think there will be much impact, even long-term, short-term perspective. So Bitcoin are still considered very safe, and then there will be a lot of replace for a new mining rate for new hash power reason.
Okay, so OKEx is obviously an international entity, right? Do you guys have a large user base in China?
Yeah, we still have a large user base in China. After several years of very focus on international markets, I think our user base is much very diversified already.
Okay, and are you guys worried to some extent about the regulatory clampdown that's going on in China, that it might touch on Bitcoin trading as well, crypto trading in general, not just Bitcoin? And would this affect your platform in a way?
I don't see a lot of impact because they already closed all the crypto exchange locally, domestically, in China back in 2018. So Chinese exchange is already migrated. Chinese-based exchange already migrated their business focus internationally for quite a long time. So internally, we don't see a lot of impact that would affect our operation. We still serve global customer. We still run global operation, global marketing. Nothing changes in terms of personnel. We're still adding people. Right now, we have 1,600 people. We're still planning to expansion for adding more people internationally, and I think there will be a lot of I will expect there will be a lot of statements coming from the government that mostly from investor protection point of view. They will keep having warning or keep having reminder that cryptocurrency is kind of like highly volatile asset. Right. So for those Chinese who like to trade, it's still okay, but you have to be aware of the risk.
Right. And can you speak a little bit more about your expansion? How's it going? And maybe if you can compare the different markets, let's say the European market to the Chinese market, and what are the main differences that you see?
Oh, I think we are mostly having expansion on the Western markets, especially European markets. If I would like to make a comparison in terms of clientele, I would say European customer or Western-based customer are more like professional oriented. They already equipped with a lot of crypto knowledge, and they understand what's going on, especially on the professional instruments, for example, like derivative instruments. We don't need a lot of education, and they're very professional already, comparatively. So in terms of investor education is a lot better, and they're more technological voice, and they understand a lot about trading compared with APAC customers.
Okay, and there is one more thing that I wanted to touch upon.
Yep.
During the bull cycle, especially in May, perhaps towards the middle of May, we saw an explosion of meme coins, right? All those dog coins, Shiba
Yep.
Inu, Akita Inu, and whatnot. OKEx,
Yep.
Shiba Inu. How do you guys decide when and what altcoin to list? What's the process that goes on before you decide to list an altcoin?
Oh, that is we basically have a due diligence team within OKEx.
Okay.
So we take into a lot of consideration. First, we basically have a lot of matrix for different category, for different category of altcoin. So if they're talking about define, if we're talking about your offering, your innovations, or how you generate yields, whether or not you have go through the smart contract audits. If you're community driven like Elcon, like Snoopy, and all the other coins, we're taking a look at whether or not we can get a direct contact of the founding team, and whether or not we have a large enough community that people would love to trade. And we don't list a lot of Elcon except Snoopy. And also, if you're talking about technological driven blockchain based protocol, we take a look whether you already have a comparable dev community that already contributing to your protocol already. We're not that too aggressive to list all kind of meme coins or all kind of unproven protocol.
Right.
We have a really solid list of due diligence. Yeah, the Bitcoin price crashed the entire altcoin cycle. Even a lot of token have been crashed a lot of time, like 80% or more. But yeah, I think that is because of the bearish markets.
Okay. And my last question would be, can you tell us a little bit more about OKEx's future plans? How do you imagine your progression in, let's say, 5 or 10 years from now? Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? Let's see.
Yeah, I think I would envision that we OKEx or all the other crypto community, we're collaborating, building another borderless financial system already, and I think it's inevitable. Yes, there's a lot of overall on regulatory side. There's a lot of negative comments on, especially on centralized traditional finance. There are a lot of doubt, skeptic, and also a lot of encouragement. But I think despite all that, I think there will be ever and borderless financial ecosystem, and it can go bigger and bigger. So we'll think about whether how crypto exchange can play a role on this, right? So crypto exchange is mostly related on trading. The value of crypto exchange is to offer a price discovery venue for all kinds of assets. We are here to price assets, and how we price is basically working on how we work out a trading mechanism, different kind of instruments, different kind of or different kind of player that contributing on these kind of price discovery process. So I would envision OKEx would be considered as the bridges between decentralized finance and centralized finance, what we call the C-define, right?
Right.
We will be. I think we would like and crypto exchange would be like the gateway of whoever want to join crypto, whoever want to participate themselves into decentralized finance. We imagine that we have the matching engine or trading mechanism, the product ready, and also we are compliant. We have all the KYC elements and be already in place. And we are very friendly too. We have direct customer support. We have all the UI, all the apps and all the educational tools to help users understand decentralized finance without you need to worry about having wallets, having a custody wallet. I think we will continue play this role for the next 5 to 10 years for as with all the other crypto exchange. And maybe one day decentralized exchange, decentralized ML will become so big that everyone will have both accounts, right? The bank account and your brokerage account, as well as crypto exchange account for your DeFi component or DeFi present, DeFi allocations.
Right. Well, Lennix, that was very insightful. Thank you very much for agreeing to this discussion once again. And we look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much, George. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.